Hi, thank you so much, Kulsum, for that wonderful welcome. And I was not aware of the programs that you people conduct, Silre. So
Yes.
this is the first time on your platform that I have come, and hopefully I'll be able to resolve the queries of most of the teachers and students with regard to their children's health and nutrition and immunity.
Yes, ma'am.
So shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. We can start.
Let me start the whole thing. Sorry, I'll have to just go here. Hi, is everybody able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you able to see it? Because I don't know, I'm not able to see the PPT.
We can just see the black background, ma'am. Are you
Okay,
presenting
okay,
the
okay,
PPT?
okay. So let me just, okay. So are you able to see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, so let me start with sharing you what is basically nutrition in kids and how does it help them to improve their immunity as well. Now, nutrition, as we all know, can be defined as food that contains and is well balanced with all the essential vitamins, minerals, carbs, protein, fat, water for the overall health of a person, irrespective of the age or species. And so, what's more important is there are times when uh, we do not get sufficient nutrition, and that can lead to malabsorption or malnutritional issues, which can mar a child for life and put them at the risk of mortality. Now, if you really look at the journey of a child, I mean, it starts from a mother's womb, where the growth of the child in the womb itself is determined by how the mother's health is, what she eats, and how she takes care of herself. So from there it starts, and whether the child, it's also very important that even after the child is born, like whether the child has been properly breastfed or not for that stipulated period of 6 months to 1 year on a minimum. For sometimes for some children the breastfeeding is almost for about 2 years. Now why I'm talking about this breastfeeding also here, although we are talking about nutrition here, is because the colostrum that is there, that the child gets at the post delivery of the mother when the breastfeeding is done. So that is very important because that has got the maximum number of nutrients and immunity building bodies which help the child for lifelong, to help them against major and minor illnesses. Gradually then thereafter, weaning off from gradual, to like from the liquid to the semi solid and the solid, and then trying to put in a lot of variety of food here and there, that also does determine as to how much of it is given, and what suits the child also well. And it differs from families to families and from different culture or tradition that they follow. So these things are also very responsible for their height and growth weight percentile, for their cognitive abilities, for motor skills, for memory, for communication. and various other activities of theirs. Now, if you look at this chart, there's something called as a food pyramid. We never ever heard of this as we were kids. So this food pyramid basically is like you have to have unlimited quantity of water or as much as your body feels the need. But between your thirsty feeling and the unlimited water, you need to have a bare minimum specified quantity of about, say, about 1 to 1.5 liter to 2 liters. That is for a child between, say, 5 to 10 years old. That should be the thing. But for a child below 5 years, it can just be up to 1 liter because normally they do not drink much. Apart from that, there are these things will be repeatedly be spoken about in the coming slides as well. There are these grain servings, like they you have various kind of grains, multi grains, and then you have ragi and wheat and jowar and various other grains which do help in the child's growth as well. There are vegetable servings, fruit servings, and in the third most one, there is this dairy servings, which is mostly comprising of the meat, fish, beans, and few other dairy products as well, and eggs. On the topmost is the fats, the oil, sweets, and the seldomly had food, like chocolates, pastries, and all that. So there are certain foods which are good for muscles, certain foods which are good for the heart, for the hair, for the brain, for the eyes, for the teeth, for the digestive system, for the skin and the bones. Now, if you see in today's time, most of the children do complain of eye related issues, ear related problems. And during the pandemic time, we had a lot of children who were forced to come onto the online platform. So it did take a toll on their eyes and on their ears. And it did cause certain issues, headaches and dry eyes and itching and burning and, some kind of difficulty in sleeping and eating food, loss of appetite, muscle pains, body aches. All these were like very, very common, especially more pronounced during the pandemic scenario. And as the children grow, there are something called as the growing pains, which are there because the body is trying to spurt. And then at that point of time, there is a lot of calorie requirement that is there for the child, which has to be met. If it is not met, then the child may have either the body will accustom itself to having that whatever weight it can or whatever height it can grow up to with whatever food is available to them, or it will grow well if all the resources are given to the child properly. You can actually see in underdeveloped countries, Somalia and some various other poor countries. You can see that most of the children there are deprived of good nutrition, and the results are visible with various kinds of diseases that are seen there. So in well-developed countries, you see a very totally different contrast scenario where children are healthy and in height, growth, weight percentile, everything is fine and their appetite is good and they are engaged in various other activities. So that is one thing that you can actually see. So food diet is very important, and what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, that is also equally important. Now, if you come to this, there's something called as a rainbow chart. Okay. Why we call it a rainbow chart is because somehow we see that the foods that are colored have got a lot of alkaloids that are very helpful for the body and to improve one's immunity as well. So if you look at this rainbow chart here, which is given here, there are a lot of similar colored fruits and vegetables in a lot. Like you may have oranges and sweet lime and pineapple and bananas all in one. You may have papaya and orange, and maybe other fruits in the other one, like even the lime. Capsicum also, there are red and there are green and red color capsicum too, so even they can be segregated. Grapes also, you have green grapes and then you have the purple grapes. So there are various kinds of fruits, berries, which can be distributed as per the color. And the more variety the color, the children are more attracted also, and also because it is very healthy because of their various different alkaloids and antioxidant properties that they have. Now coming to something called as balancing your plate. All you need to have is a very well balanced diet. That is, you should have a sufficient quantity of your proteins, of your carbohydrates and starch, of your vegetables, of your fruit, and certain amount of probiotic and prebiotic. So here there are some details which are given for your better understanding for both when veg and non-veg both options are there. So it's like in protein case it is fresh or frozen fish. Of course, we normally have cooked fish normally. Then tuna, skinless chicken, turkey, shellfish, clams, shrimp, crab, low fat, non-fat cheese, lean beef, and then we have the starch ones. That is potato is the most commonest one, which most of us Indians use it. Then you have beans, you have black and kidney beans, you have lentils, you have baked beans, you have mixed corn and peas. There's a lot of corn usage in different types that people use nowadays. Plantains, of course, winter squash or the butternut, sweet potatoes, and whole wheat pasta. You have oatmeal and quinoa. And apart from that, there is this recommended vegetable intake also that you can give to the children. You can have a variety of this and you can keep changing it. Artichokes are there, asparagus, which I think most of them don't use, but it is just for your information and knowledge. Sprout beans are there, then broccoli, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, celery, cucumber, eggplant, then kale, leeks, mushroom, onions, peppers, and then the salads. And you have spinach, tomatoes, turnips, and water chestnuts. Now, if you see what are the types of food and servings that are very easy to serve the children. Of course, some of the children are so used to having only the junk food nowadays that they do not have the interest in eating healthy food. So first is to educate the child too, but this is the information that I will be providing. We'll come to that a little later. So fruits, normally parents ask how much to give to them. So one serve, which would be like a one small medium apple, a banana, an orange or pear. So the banana is mostly the yellow banana or a little bit a smaller banana, not the big banana robusta, which is very big and huge. Some of the children experience cold, cough, fever, sore throat when they engage in having banana or cucumber or watermelon, muskmelon, orange or pineapple for that matter. So you have to be, although this looks all healthy, but you will have to choose what is best fitting for your child. There are two small plums, kiwi fruits or apricots, or 1 cup of diced or canned fruit that can be given. And you can give like 2 serves a day. But in my suggestion, don't douse them with too much of fruits and vegetables all the time. You have to be a little flexible in giving them variety, which will be a tough task on the mother. But then, you have to really see that the child is meeting all the nutrients expectations for their growth. Vegetables, there's one serve, which is half a medium potato or sweet potato or corn. Baby corns are pretty common, and nowadays the children also would like the crispy corns and or corn salad. They do that. So with some cheese or whatever. So even that is also a healthy snack for them. Or half cup cooked veggies like broccoli, spinach, carrots, and pumpkin. Or 1 cup of green leafy or raw salad veggies, or half of a cup of cooked rice, or say dried beans and canned legumes or lentils. Not rice here though. Offers are like about 5 to 5.5 serves a day. Please do not give so much because it also differs from child to child. Some children eat very less and they are okay with it. Their energy levels are also fine. They may not put on weight, but their energy levels are fine. For some children, they may require more, although their energy levels are and they may be low, or maybe their energy levels are fine, but they may require more. That is why understand and identify the quantity that your child requires and go as per that. Don't go as per what is being told. Then coming to cereal and grains, and normally one slice of bread or half cup of cooked rice, pasta, noodles, koina or polenta, or half cup of porridge, cereal, wheat cereal flakes that you get. Muesli is very common. Muesli is very common these days. That's about one-fourth of a cup, or English muffin, one crumpet, and whole grains are the best thing to take. Offers are like 5 to 6 per day, serves per day, but stick to just about 1 or 2 serves per day. Don't go beyond that.
Me, Munnavvar, ma'am.
Sorry,
Ma'am, your slide is not changing. It is in the first page itself.
is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, why didn't you tell me this? Okay. So let me just. Can you see now?
Yes, ma'am. You have to change while you explain, ma'am.
Yeah, I was changing, but you couldn't see it, is it?
No, ma'am. We couldn't see.
Now are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that means there is some problem here with the. Okay. Okay. So you're talking about this one, is it? Right. Is it sufficient enough for everybody to see? Please do let me know.
We can see the second slide, ma'am.
Okay. So I was actually discussing about the. I have already gone to third and then the fourth slide. I don't know why the slides are not changing. Are you able to see this as well, madam?
Yes, ma'am. We can see what is nutrition. Yeah.
Now you saw types of foods and servings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Vegetables, cereals and grains.
Yes, ma'am.
Aisha? Okay, right. Okay, I'm so sorry. I wish you would have just pointed out that in the initial stage itself. That would be nice. Okay, so there are these cereals and grains that I just spoke about. That one slice of bread or half a cup cooked rice, pasta, noodles, and all that, and cereal flakes or muesli, which is very common these days. And then the dairy servings, which is about 250 ml of milk, pasteurized. Of course, we use a Nandini milk or whichever milk you people will have. 1 cup daily alternative like soya or rice milk. But I think it doesn't suit most of the children as they do have lactose intolerance too. So I do have a lot of patients who come with their children having a bit of lactose intolerance and they're not able to digest food and all. So maybe it doesn't suit everybody. So you'll have to be very careful about how much of milk you're giving. And if they're not having milk, compensate it in some other form, in the form of butter, cheese, ghee, or also maybe yogurt also for that matter. That should also help them compensate the calcium level. And try to give them reduced fatty food as much as possible. Now, coming to the next one, this is another type of food and servings, that is meat, fish, poultry, eggs, nuts, seeds, legumes. These all are protein rich diet, and where they are high energy producing food. And if consumed, I mean, especially when during sporting activities and other things, if they are consumed, they tend to stay or give more stamina for a longer period of time. So one serve is about 65 gram cooked lean beef, lamb, veal or pork, and about 80 grams. The all details are there. Anyway, I'll be sharing the PPT with you all. So you all can have a look at it and you all can choose accordingly what you would like to take. Peanuts, I have seen, tends to make children go fat very soon. Peanuts and cheese and butter and junk food. Almonds, on the other hand, along with fish and vegetables, do help in reducing their weight. Also, when you're choosing fruits, you should always look at food which is having low glycemic index, not a high glycemic index, fruits. Now, coming to the healthy fats, which are, you can include 1.5 serves of unsaturated fat in the cooking, baking, paste, or dressings. And one serve means 1 to 2 teaspoons, that's 5 to 10 grams of olive oil, canola, rice bran oil, or margarine made from these oils. This is especially very nice for those children who are having a tendency to put on weight, something called the puppy fat. So when you are helping them out with such kind of oils and reducing all their junk food and sticking to a very healthy sensible diet, they do tend to reduce a good amount of weight. And it is really helpful for them because it helps them get in that confidence level also, and also it helps them to be more active and their stamina levels are more. So they should avoid foods like cakes, biscuits, chips, lollies, processed meats, and fried or takeaway food, which are high in saturated fat, sugar, and salt. Now, coming to the calorie intake. Now, this is approximately the calorie requirements for per person wise, age wise, and gender wise. So basically, day wise, age wise, and gender wise. So between the age of 2 to 3, the toddlers, they don't require too much, but their requirement is about for a female toddler, a baby girl, they may be about 1,000 calories required. Whereas for a male baby, they may be requiring about 1,000 calories only, maybe plus or minus here and there. 4 to 8 years children normally will require about 1,200 to 1,400 calories. So also the male, so both male and female have similar requirements almost till the age of 8 years. 9 to 13, okay, when there are certain changes that happen, anyways, I for some reason the requirement by the female is lesser as compared to the male. So 1,400 to 1,600 is the calorie requirement for a girl between the age of 9 and 13, and for the boys it's between 1,600 to 2,000. And those who step into adolescent, that's between 14 to 18. Of course, now the adolescent age or the puberty age has come down quite a bit low. And when I also see in my clinical study, even at the age of 9 also, puberty hits the girls faster than the boys. So 14 and 18 years of age, the requirement is 1,800 calories for girls and 2,000 to 2,400 calories for boys. Now, I rather would, not agree completely to this, because I feel when the girl is menstruating and she has a lot of changes in her hormones and she is undergoing, and if the bleeding is heavy, she may end up with anemia and all. So actually, her requirement will be a little bit more than the boys. So maybe even her requirement or would match up to the boys. So instead of 1,800, it can actually be about 2,000 also for that matter. Apart from that, I also would want to tell that there are a lot of girls who go through very difficult problems, painful periods. They go through a lot of heavy bleeding. For those parents who are having girls and who would like to improve their diet, please focus on giving them more of figs and dates and pomegranate, jaggery, dry coconut a bit, along with apple and beetroot. This will really, and dates, this will really help them to gain some strength along with some almonds. So this would be actually something very nice for the girls. For the boys, of course, in their adolescent age, please give a lot of badam and a lot of almonds and walnuts, which will be helpful for them for their overall growth also, because it is very effective for the bone, skin, and hair. Now, what are the challenges that now most of the parents do face, while providing healthy food? One is, most commonly seen, is the socio-economic status of the parent, or the parents for that matter. So, the geographical location where they are placed, and what are the facilities available to them, or what are the facilities available to them, like sanitation, water, power, groceries, buying the groceries or vegetables and all, PHCs. And those who do not have access to this, do end up having a lot of malnutrition issues, and Kwashiorkor's disease, giardiasis, celiac disease, or growth retardation. It could be mental and physical, or both. Existence of toxic elements in the food, water, air, like carbon, lead, arsenic, cadmium, mercury, and chlorine also contribute to the detrimental factors in a child's growth. Presence of parasitic infestations for that matter, like hookworm, roundworm, and various other infections of parasite can also affect a child, and it can cause a lot of skin related issues or gut related issues for them, and it will not allow them to grow well as expected. So deworming is something that is very commonly done for children, at least till the age of even 16 or 18. So if you have children anywhere, to try to do deworming every year annually is advisable. Junk food or FMCG containing unnecessary amounts of fats, monosodium glutamate, and their popularity and visibility everywhere around in urban areas, which has infested our minds and bodies so much as to cause neurological and other health issues. You can also see a lot of behavioral pattern changes amongst children with nutritional deficiencies. And this is not a joke, but this is on serious note. that junk food is a major contributor to spoiling the children's gut health and their mental health to a certain extent. And they get so used to it that they cannot do without it. It's something like if you take it away from them, it's like they are going through some kind of withdrawal syndromes at times. They would want or crave for it so much, whether it's the Coke or aerated drinks or the junk food for that matter. So for that, what you have to do is you have to try and study your child's mind, because each child is very different and they would like to understand from their perspective. And I think each parent knows their child best, and they would understand how to go about it. So you have to understand their vitamins, and know the foods which can provide that, and give it to your child and make them understand in a more better manner, so that they are more accepting to the healthy lifestyle change that would be very helpful for them in their present and future. So eating your ABCs is what it is. So vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin D, and vitamin E and vitamin K. Now, as children, there are a lot of these multivitamin drops that are already given to the child, at K as we call it, which contains vitamin A, D, K, and E. Now, there are also this vitamin B12, which are major contributors for memory retention, for gut health as well. And, the probiotic and prebiotic intake is also very important for the child. So, if you look at this figure, there are a lot of fruits accordingly which are placed in that respective sections of vitamin A, B, C, D, E, and K. So we require all these vitamins and minerals to help us cope up and improve the child's immunity, and to educate them to be better, healthier versions of themselves. Now, coming to the next one, that is nutritional disorders. I'm sure you must have seen a lot of these on Discovery or on various other channels, where you see, especially a typical example is Somalia. Our various other underdeveloped or poor countries, where there is stark reality is hitting them on the face, that there is no availability of food grains at all. They survive on whatever is available to them, and it is very sorry state of affairs there, that most of the children are just dying there out of starvation, and they are victims of mal absorption syndrome and nutritional disorders at large. So the most affected countries are there, and this is one of the conditions of marasmic kwashiorkor here, which is because of the nutrition of lot of vitamins and minerals, vitamin A, iodine, calcium, zinc, vitamin D. If you can see here, there are various other countries also that I have mentioned here, the Southeast Asian countries as well here, and Africa, Latin America, and then Central America, so far and forth. So I think it's very important if this picture is revealing. These are also various other scary conditions here, if you can see. Nutritional deficiencies like rickets, this bow legs, where the walk is more like a duck, because they are not able to, the bones are not aligned straight, and they are having a duck like a walk. So rickets is normally because of vitamin D deficiencies, and most of the times it can be rectified if detected at early stages, and it can be taken care of. If it is not detected at early stage, and if it is left untreated, it can get into deformities and stay like that, which will be very difficult later. Once the growing phase is over, it may not grow furthermore. Coming to beriberi disease, you can see it for yourself there, and vitamin C, which causes scurvy, bleeding gums, and many other periodontal issues. Apart from that, coming to the immunity part, I don't want to scare you more with a lot of different disease slides, but this is what you need to know, and you have to make your child aware that eating healthy to be away from all such kind of diseases is very important, and which can be done very easily, because I think most of us are either having access to all the facilities with regard to food and diet and medication and health, and what to say, PHC centers, and also doctors for that matter, to help you out. So immunity, I mean, I don't know how many of you all are aware of this, but immunity is not just about feeding your child well, and your child looks healthy and he looks round, and he looks plump and he's eating well, sleeping well. It's not just about that. It's also about your how your body is complete with regard to all the minerals and vitamins and the essential amino acids. In the dearth, or in when there is a reduction in any of these, and also when there is any problem in the family, or if there is anything that the child is going through mentally or physically, or both, along with the nutritional deficiencies, that is a sure short candidate for all kinds of problems. That is, the immunity will come down automatically, and because of which the child is prone to cold, cough, fever on a regular basis. So also may be prone to loose motions or various other problems. Now, most of the times when parents approach for the children's immunity improvement and all, what we do here is we understand the whole case and where and what the child is going through. And if there is anything that needs to be done, like counseling, or because they're going through some stressful phase, whether it is in the family or in the school or in college or various other things, we try to resolve that. That has to be resolved. Second, if there is a nutritional problem of having low appetite, the child is not eating properly, understand why the child is not eating properly and since when. Why is it so? Is there any problem with the digestion or one particular food because of which he or she is detesting or not eating it? Thereafter, just try and see if you can help improve their appetite and their digestion in case that is the reason. Apart from that, if the child is not having adequate sleep, that can also be one of the reasons for them having low immunity. I don't know how many of you all are aware that if you do not have a good sleep, your immunity goes to the dogs. It's basically like you are more prone to having or to be vulnerable to cold, cough, fever, and various other problems. So also, constantly eating outside food, and you really don't know from what sources the food is coming from, and binging on chocolates and binging on various other unnecessary junk food can also lead to gut issues, which can indirectly affect the immunity impacted, and thereby they can again be prone to maybe loose motions, vomiting, stomach upset, fever, cold, cough on a regular basis. Apart from this, there is also that long-standing problems can occur in people, like stunted growth, malabsorption syndrome, polycystic ovaries in girls, hair fall, vertigo spells, because we were also talking about the puberty category, right? So that's why I have picked up this thing of polycystic ovaries in girls, vertigo spells, weakness, fatigue, bowel issues, headaches, autoimmune disorders, like irritable bowel syndrome, SLEs and various other things, hangnails, teeth and gum issues, body aches and pains, lethargy, hormonal issues, skin diseases, eye issues, memory issues, depression, anxiety, low stamina and endurance. And all of this does impact their academic growth as well. So I'm coming to the next chart. So what are the things that you need to do as a parent? And you'll have to really shuffle between various kind of foods and provide variety to them. So here are a couple of fruits and vegetable calorie chart, which is there. Pecans, walnuts, hazelnuts, sunflower seeds, almonds, all the servings are there, calorie wise, fat wise, protein wise, carb wise, and fiber wise. How much of it is there, content in that, and what you can use. Everything has been mentioned here: yams, garlic, avocados, bananas, corn, sweet potato, soya beans, koina. We are repeating again here. Coming to the next one is about calorie sheet here again based on our Indian food as well. So you have like the idli, sambar, you have eggs, you have chapati, puri, papad, and you have soups, you have the clear soup and the heavy, then you have beverages, then you have various kind of things like jam and sugar, ghee, lot of things are there, like kebabs and so samosas, wafers. So because you see that a lot of children enjoy having this, the variety of the snacks and all that. So maybe this will help you in understanding as to how much of it, and monitor how much of it is actually going into your child, how much you can control, how you can control the diet and the weight of the child as well. So that is something that you can look at. Meat and fish, these are the options for the non-veg people, like whose children binge on non-veg quite a bit. So here, You have the chicken, you have the red meat, you have fish, trouts, various other options, along with their how much quantity, how many ounces basically, what are the calories they contain, how much of protein, carbs, fat, and fiber they contain. So most of these meat and fish have zero fibers, please understand, but they are rich in protein and fats. Carbs also hardly, except for beef, liver, but otherwise they are very rich. The non-veg food items are mostly rich in protein and fats. Popular snacks again for kids. Again, I'm repeating this, something like sheikh kebab, mutton chops, ham, fish boiled, mutton boiled. So there are a lot of things here. For the veg options, it is dahi vada. You have potato chips, tapoika chips. You have meat. You have this muruku also. So namak para is there. Papad is there. Pani puri is also there. Bhel puri is also there. So if your child wants to have once in a while, do allow that grace to them, and it's okay for them to binge on some things like this, because otherwise it'll be very difficult for you to manage your child's diet. So some amount of solace you have to give them here and there, otherwise it'll be very difficult. Apart from that, I think what I would want to say is, how do you get your child interested? Now every time if you are cooking and serving and keeping it on the table, the child will not understand what pain you have taken to go through that entire thing and keep it in front of the child. So I would rather suggest that you please engage your children from a very young age itself to start helping you out in cooking healthy, sensible food that is easy to do and easy to serve and have. And that will just, they will be like small fillers. So I think that's very important from a doctor's perspective. That is what I tell even my parents here who come, that don't force the child to eat too much of quantity. Nahi, itna khana hi hai aapko. Don't do that. I would rather suggest be a little flexible and give them various other items, of their choice, a little bit of your choice, and at the end of the day ensure that that healthy meal is done. Okay. And you're not compromising on their calorie intake or on their fats or the protein or the carb intake or whatever, or their minerals and vitamins. But you need to understand that if you are going to be not allowing them in the kitchen at all and not showing them, okay fine, this is what will make this healthy, and you see how it tastes, and engage them in such cooking small salads to begin with, okay, where it is easy to do and easy to serve and easy to have, and they enjoy it. It'll really do a lot of life. It's a life changer, is what I would say, and that will really help a lot, and it'll go a long way in helping your child maintain certain healthy food habits, because these are easy to do, like the corn, maybe the salad or the cucumber salad, or maybe just some buttermilk. It's a good probiotic. Maybe some banana with some milk and jaggery, that will also be very helpful. So also, like, having some small grill kind of a thing, if the child is a little grown up, you can help them with the grill and other things. So try doing that as much as possible, or some milkshakes and all in the mixie. Be there with your child present throughout, and that's how you engage them into starting a good, healthy, sensible eating diet lifestyle. If you can do that, nothing like it. Hats off to your parenting then. So with this, I would actually say, so the child initially may not agree first, but then I think if you keep being persistent a bit, and if you're after them, like, no, let's do this and let's do that. So you need to know when to not push, and when to just keep a distance, and then again when to ask. So that is something that you will have to do. And with persistence, persistence breaks resistance, is what they say. So do it gently and do it right. Don't be too pushy. Don't be too hard. Don't drift away too far. Just see that you sit down with a child and try to get some healthy meal done for the family as well, and tell them that they are doing it. So they will have a sense of pride that they are also, cooking for the family also, and that will really help them in improving their confidence. And when the people appreciate also in the family, so it's really something nice. So I think that is something that you need to look at. And so this is how I would conclude. And if you have any doubts or queries with regard to children and their nutrition and how to improve their immunity, we do have treatments for all kinds of kids with various problems and health issues. You can get in touch with us. Our website detail is given there. As also, have a happy parenting. And in case parents have any queries as to how to go about their diet and all, like, you can book a consult with us and get in touch with us. Thank you so much. I think Aisha, am I clear?
Any questions from the participants?
So, how many of you? Let me ask some questions. How many of you have children? In which category? Yeah, tell me, Aparna.
So I have adult children,
Okay.
but I've been there, and the biggest idea that I really liked what you discussed was to get the children participating in the cooking process.
Yes,
Let them see different shapes, colors, smells, because
absolutely.
we eat with our eyes first. And like you
Yes,
said, when they participate in the baking process, I think they'll be interested to try out different foods.
correct.
And I think that's a great place to start. I really like that approach that you
Thank you
suggested.
so much, Aparna, for
Yeah,
appreciating that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, and I'm glad you have done that with your children too. So I'm sure.
No, I think I should have, but I think I would have had better results if I had done that.
No, it's
But
never too late. You know, it's
I
never too
agree,
late.
it's never too late to learn. But I really, really
Yeah,
like that approach.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
right.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, we could do that, right? Anybody else having any children with any health issues, you all can ask me. I can help you answer that, and whatever diet is required, I can suggest. Like I told you about girls having heavy periods, what is the diet that you need to take, and what is the fruits and vegetables that you need to take, give them. So, is there anybody else having any other challenges with regard to parenting or bringing up their children? Any problems that their children are facing? Hi, Mohan. Yes, Mohan.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Absolutely, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So I joined midway into the session because of something else, but
Yeah.
then thanks for
Mhm.
this. I have a
Yeah.
10-year-old
Mhm.
daughter, and
Mhm.
she's very fussy about eating. While she, some of the some stuff she eats very fast, and
Correct.
some of the regular stuff, it takes years for her to actually get the plate to get cleared, right?
True,
We
true,
have
true.
tried many ways to talking sense, talking health, and all that stuff, but somehow we were
True.
not able to get through that. So is there any I know there is no easy answer, but then is there a way we can actually
No, no, I
get her?
understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think I understand where you're coming from and what's happening with you. Yes, of course. It is a very, very common question. People say that, you give him this or give her this and they will eat instantly. And, the other things like they have to wait for a long time, like you said. And
Right.
so some of them also have this habit of watching TV or, some mobile while they are having food. They have to have some extra activity parallelly going on for them to be able to eat food, or so that is one thing. Second is, what I feel is, see, suppose if you feel the child is still being very stubborn about not eating the right kind of food, then what I would suggest you is possibly try to give that food which you all think is healthy for the child into, like, mash it up and then mix it up with whatever that person likes to eat, like, your child, whatever your child likes to eat, if it can be mixed up and then put added to that, and then given that also should work out. If not, maybe you will have to really bribe. It's not healthy, but you may have to bribe, or you may have to just tell them ki, no, this is healthy and you should eat. But I don't know, I mean, your child the best. So uh, parenting the same, what do I say, it's not the same parenting with every parent. It's different
Yeah,
kind.
right. Right. Every child is different,
Yeah,
so
it's all trial and error, trial and error. You'll have to keep doing till you really figure out a way finally to handle your child. So
yeah.
I think try and otherwise see if there's actually some problem with the child with regard to certain food. Why they're not eating certain food? Is it causing gas to them? Is it causing some kind of bloating or indigestion or stomach pain? That also could be one of the reasons why some of the children do not have that kind of food. They avoid certain foods knowingly, because they know that it is not suiting them. I have a
Okay.
lot of kids who avoid milk and milk related products, also certain non-veg sometimes, and certain vegetables, and even paneer for that matter. So when we look into more details, it is like they don't like either the taste of it, or the smell of it, or the look of it, or they can't digest it well. So you will have to observe maybe your child a little bit more. In case you have any further queries, you can get in touch. Otherwise, if you feel they are just being very smart and they are just avoiding it, then you'll have to find a smarter way to feed them whatever you want to feed, healthy food in a different way.
Yeah, I think that battle is continuing. Is who is the smarter of us two? But then,
Well,
but glad
all
that
the best to
you.
you.
Yeah, yeah. So one more question. You
Hmm.
did bring about this. This thought that certain foods. Allergy probably is a too strong a
Yes.
word. I don't want to use
Allergies,
that.
intolerance is what I would say. I would say
Right,
intolerance.
right. So, but then what I have seen is of late, can these allergies be acquired also in terms of, I know that when she is eating egg, the
Hmm.
body reacts pretty immediately, and then there's a stomach pain or something which actually happens. So, is
Yeah.
this something which can be genetic, which
Mohan,
can be
actually, she,
acquired over a
yeah,
period as well?
yeah, yeah. See, basically, she is already having certain issues with regard to her egg intolerance. I
Right.
only hope it doesn't reach to a level where it reaches throws an anaphylactic reaction, which will be very severe. So,
Okay.
in case, and there are also chances that she may outgrow it over a period of time. But
Hmm.
for that matter, then there are certain things that in homeopathy we do have to help with the food intolerance of certain food, like some people have wheat intolerance, gluten intolerance for
Yeah.
that matter,
Yeah.
lactose
Yeah.
intolerance. Then you have egg you spoke about. Some people have prawn intolerance. They immediately throw rashes and urticaria all over the body, like fish food basically or seafood. So there are
Hmm.
various kind of foods to which people are sensitive, extra sensitive to being intolerant. Okay. How far they can go and how much duration they can go up to a level of throwing an allergic severe reaction is what we have to wait and watch and see. But why wait and watch and see when you can nip it off in the budding stage? Why don't you start assessing, and you can do a comprehensive allergy panel test to find out is she really allergic to, because they will be grading there, like 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks will be given there. And in that, then you can find out if your child is really severely allergic to that. Then you can start either avoiding it or take medicines to help her overcome that allergy. Very simple.
Okay. So, can I get in touch with you for this?
Sure, sure, sure. Why not, Mohan? In fact, you can also visit the website and you can have a look. You can also do the test for your daughter. It's a comprehensive allergy panel test, which can be done to understand if there are any allergies that she has to. And it normally comes from some. It's always got a genetic predisposition, very strong genetic predisposition. Either one of the parent or the grandparent, somebody or one of the relatives in the genetic chain would be having certain allergies. It could be respiratory, it could be gut allergy, I mean the food allergy, or it could be the skin allergy. So when one is suppressed, the other one can come up. So that is also there. So I think that is very important to understand, identify, and treat.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Mohan. Thank you. Yeah. I think Ale was saying something that her. Okay, Ale has a question. She says there's some audio issue at her end, and kid is 8 years old. Make him brush twice a day, but still sees some bad odor. Okay, yeah. So, Ale, your child could be having certain issues with his gums. It could be gingivitis, periodontitis, and it could be also because of some bacteria and plaque formation in the teeth and gum area, which means you may have to visit a dentist, and there could be an underlying infection there. So, or it could also be because of vitamin C deficiency. So my ideal advice for now would be, why don't you start him on some vitamin C tablets for some time and see for about a week or so, and make him brush properly, and then massage his gums as well. and see whether it helps him. If it doesn't help, then he can always get in touch with us. Is that okay? Shabnam, can you unmute her?
Yes, ma'am. There is no option for that, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Right. No, she's messaged. Okay. She's messaged it. Fine. Take care. Okay. Right. I think. Yes, Mohanji.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry, this is Mohan's wife, Manila. We both were listening on the same.
Sorry, Manila,
Thanks for
is it?
the. Yeah, this is Manila.
Manila.
Thanks for the lovely session, ma'am.
Thank you
Ma'am,
so
a
much.
quick question. So this mood swings, the anger issues also kind of relate to lack of some deficiency of
It
vitamins
could.
or
How old is the child?
10 years, ma'am.
10 years. Yeah. You see, is it a girl or a boy?
Girl, ma'am, daughter.
Girl. So, see, the thing is now she may be slowly heading towards puberty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there would be certain hormonal changes, behavioral pattern changes, and age related changes also. It's not just about puberty, it is also age related also. And
Okay.
there could be some anger issues, some frustration, some pent up
Mm-hmm.
emotions, which are not, probably she's upset with something, or there's something that's going on in her mind, and maybe she should be spoken to. And
Okay.
yeah, so there are certain changes that they go through. Don't take anything personal, I would
Okay.
suggest, because sometimes kids have this huge thing of, just pouring everything onto you in a very dramatic manner, and the parent is caught unaware. They don't know what hit when. So
Right. Right.
yeah, so I think what I would suggest you is ki don't get worked up about anything, and don't take any thing very personal, but maybe just understand from her perspective if something has happened at the school or between the friends or on social media. These kids are a lot on social media. God knows what is affecting.
Right. Right.
So
True. True.
no. I have done, another thing. Of course, I have had a talk at designing school. So that was for the adult kids. But I have, yeah. So there are a lot of things that goes wrong with children these days, and they are so hooked on to certain things, and they do not like you telling them no for certain things. So it's not
Right.
about you; it's about the entire system, this generation as such. So you don't
True.
blame yourself, but then I think you just have
Sure.
to take it as it comes, and it's your battlefield. You need to stand up for yourself, as well as make them feel whatever they are doing may not be right, although they would like to justify it. But I think it's very
Right.
important that they understand. Okay, so
Sure,
yeah,
ma'am. Thank you so much.
most welcome. Bye, bye, bye. Yeah, Aisha, anybody else?
I don't think so, ma'am.
Okay, right, then can we conclude?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you, ma'am.
Thank you,
I
doctor.
should say thanks.
It has
Thank you,
been an
doctor.
immense pleasure, ma'am, to have you on our platform.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you all guys too. Thank you so much, all of you all. Thanks. Bye
Yes,
bye.
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.